Well, well. Look at all you lovely-looking people out there. My, so many of you. Oh, there too. Greetings. Welcome to this temple of the imagination. This hallowed hall where stories are told. The managers of this reputable establishment have kindly lent me use of their stage for 40 minutes or thereabouts, so that I may present to you an entertainment. Allow me to introduce myself to your audience. My name is Louis de Rougemont, at your service. Now, are you ready to be astonished? Well, you have come to the right place. But now, hush, 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 hush. For I am about to tell you a story. A fantastic and amazing story, all the more remarkable because every word of it is true. That's right, every word. Oh, how do I know? Because I lived it, dear ones. Gentle boys and girls, kind men and ladies, the amazing adventures of Louis de Rougemont, as told by himself. Now, my assistants at today's proceedings, we have Christina, Emily, Grace, Charles, Frederick, and Grayson. Chapter 1, in which the seeds of adventure are sown. I am born in Paris to parents of Swiss extraction, but my early years are spent in London. It is there where my story begins in the year 1860. I am a sickly child of 8, a pale and hasty-faced boy prone to coughs and sneezes. While other children are allowed to frolic in the outdoors, I am confined to my little bed in my little blue room. Mother, why mustn't I go outside and play?
Dear child, you're a fragile boy with a delicate constitution. Best to stay indoors, darling boy, where mother can protect you.
Father incidentally doesn't figure into my story, but my mother is always there by my bedside, often with the gift of a scone fresh from the cooker. Mother reads to me constantly for hours on end.
I was born in the year 1632.
Adventure stories, fantastic tales, the great timeless tomes.
After we rode about a week and a half,
the Odyssey, Robinson Crusoe, wondrous journeys, each and every one of them.
Such a fury that it's overset the
books break down the walls of my infirmary prison, and my bed becomes a raft in the rocky ocean. Oh. Years go by. I outgrow childish things. I am healthy but rather pale, and my cheeks have seldom been kissed by the sun. So, one day, I decide to defy my mother and go outside.
Louis, what are you doing?
Mother, I've made up my mind. I'm leaving home.
You can't leave. You're still a child.
No, I'm not a child. I'm 16, nearly 17. I long to see the things written about in books.
Those books, those foolish books, they fill your head with reckless ideas.
They've shown me a world I long to see with my own eyes. It's time to let me go and begin my life.
How long will you be gone?
However long it takes a man to find his way in the world. But when I do, I'll come home and tell you of my amazing journey. I pack my things.
Here. Take this with you.
The plays of Mr. William Shakespeare.
All you will need to know about life is between its covers.
Thank you.
Here, this too.
Sure.
Please, son, take it. Spend it wisely.
Thank you, Mother. I will. Goodbye.
Louis, be careful out there. The world is a dangerous place.
That may be so, but it's also marvelous. And so, I enter the real world.
Chicken! Get your chickens here! Chicken down town! Best deal on the market if you ask me! Get your chicken down in town! Help you out! You'll have my best every day! Hey!
Sorry.
You want your chicken?
I'm sorry. Oh!
I beg your pardon, sir.
I beg your pardon. I've been robbed. Oh, my first night of freedom and I'm penniless. What more could possibly go think I could survive in this world. It was hubris and sheer mental folly. I take shelter from the rain in a darkened doorway, where a certain gentleman... Get out! Get out! Well, there's nothing gentle about him, really.
Get your bloody stick nuts off of me!
Ah! Stay out, you drunken old sea dog!
Who are you calling a drunken old sea dog? My name's Jensen, Captain Peter Jensen. If you don't like it, you can float out
Sir,
here.
excuse me. Are you all right?
Who are you?
My name is Louis de Rougemont. Did you say you were a sea captain?
Indeed I am.
Of a ship of your own?
I should say.
Oh. Well, what's the name of it? Your ship?
She's called the Wonderworld.
The Wonderworld. What a wonderful name for a ship.
She's a good gal, she is. In just 2 days' time, I'll be back at the helm on my next seafaring journey.
An adventure! Oh, sir, I envy you so. Ever since I was a little boy, tucked in my little bed, I dreamt of sailing.
Ah, in your little bed. Ain't that sweet? Well, I just so happen to have room on board for another shipment. You wouldn't be interested in joining me on my next expedition now, would you?
Joining you on this expedition? Well, what sort of expedition is it?
A Pearlin expedition.
Pearlin expedition?
Stop repeating every bloomin' thing I said.
Well, where are these pearls?
Far away from here, lad. Halfway across the globe.
Where exactly?
The Coral Sea.
Oh, the Coral Sea!
Aye.
Oh! Where is the Coral Sea?
Australia. Australia.
Oh.
Ahead. Head along the Great Barrier Reef. Miles and miles of precious pearls slumber in their shells, just waiting for some lucky bloke to come along and snatch them from the depths. So, you coming with me, or ain't you?
What happens next, dear audience? I think you can guess. Chapter 2, in which my fateful journey begins. Expert pearl divers from Malaysia, 30 or more make up the crew. But suddenly, out of nowhere, a four-legged creature of the most ungainly sort, a preposterous canine, knocks me to the ground and slams my face with kisses.
Oh, Bruno, get your hairy over here.
Oh. Bruno, the captain's dog, is to accompany us on an expedition. He has singled me out as his new best friend. It is devotion at first sight, and I must say, the feeling is mutual. The Wonder World sets sail. Silvery dolphins escort our ship on either side, racing and leaping into the air as our ship slices through the water. We sail merrily in this fashion for weeks, until, suddenly piercing the tranquility of the day, a sea monster rises from the deep. An octopus, a gigantic octopus, sets its sights on an unsuspecting fisherman. Hideous tentacles rise up 5, 10, 15 feet long and imprison the man in a deadly grasp. All at once, the man is dragged down to the watery depths. Oh, Captain! A sea monster just sprung to the deep and snatched him and dragged him down to the depths. It's an omen, Captain. It's a sign, I tell you. Our mission is doomed.
Nonsense! It's just one man's bum luck. Now I don't want to hear another word about omens.
But the ominous feeling lingers for days until we drop anchor at our destination, the Coral Sea. The pearl fishermen celebrate our arrival by jumping into the water like excited frogs. Oh, what joy! I cannot stand here where they have all the fun. I must see what they see down below with my own eyes. And so, I take a deep breath, the deepest I can take, and... Oh my heavens! It's a watery wonderland, a magical world down below. Oh, clusters of coral, gaily colored fish swim by, whole schools of them. This enchanted place, this is the wonder I dreamt of, tucked inside my little bed in my little blue room. Chapter 3, in which unforeseen events occur. The pearl harvest is underway. The captain and I shuck open shell after shell. Inside each oyster lurks A little pearl, a perfectly formed little gem. The captain gloats over them like a miser with his gold. And we keep them in, of all things, pickle jars. Oh, that's odd. This pearl, it's entirely black. I'll just throw it back in.
Okay, give it here. This one pearl. Why, this one pearl's worth more than all the others combined. There's one of them. There must be many more.
The captain is driven mad with greed. He pays no mind to the gathering storm. Oh, Captain, a monsoon is brewing.
Tend to the pearls, Louis, tend to the pearls.
Oh, the sky takes on a dull, strange, colorless hue. Captain, look at the sky. Keep shucking. Oh, Captain, the waves, they're getting higher. Keep shucking. Oh, Captain, please, I implore you. I fear for our safety and that of our crew. Look at our pearls if we lose our lives. You can't trade pearls in heaven.
Mark my words, we'll soon blow over. See, what did I tell you?
Bruno, it isn't. What's wrong? I realize we're turning. The ship is moving, turning itself around. Barely perceptible at first, then ever more emphatically. Captain! Completely around. Captain! Over and over like an out of control. Faster! Oh, Captain, what is it?
We're caught in a whirlpool!
What?
A whirlpool!
Oh, goodness. Captain, please, don't leave me. Bruno, where are you? Spiraling, whirling, swirling down we go into a watery void. All at once, the boating mast snaps like a twig and comes crashing down. Oh. Bruno, you made it. Oh, we cling to one another on the floating wreckage. I am alone. Well, not entirely. Bruno's with me, of course. Looks like it's just you and me, boy. You and me. Chapter 4, in which I face an uncertain future. Our battered boat barely stays afloat. Weak with thirst and hunger, I lay, motionless, tongue parched and swollen. I am delirious. Look, it's a giant pink porpoise flying through the air. Oh, no, wait, no. It's a strange little baby whale. Oh, who's there?
Where are you, Louis?
Mother, is that you?
Where's my boy?
I'm right here.
Come out, wherever you are.
Oh, Mother, can't you see me? I'm right here.
Why did you go, Louis? Why did you have to go so very far away?
Oh, Mother, I'm sorry. I wanted to see the world. Oh, Mother, no, don't go. Mother. Bruno, it's an island. Oh, I jump into the water. Bruno jumps in after me, and I swim, but the current is too strong, and I'm too weak to swim against it. Bruno, I can't. Oh, Bruno grabs a hank of my shirt and tugs me through the water. Water, rock, pebbles, and sand. A sandy oasis on the far side of the world. Chapter 5, Marooned. As if by some divine intervention, the disabled Wonderworld reaches as well. On it, provisions that survived the terrible storm. Barrels of food and tins full of fresh water. A single waterlogged volume of the plays of Mr. William Shakespeare, which I set out in the sun to dry. And mysterious glistening objects wash ashore. They're pickle jars, untouched by catastrophe, filled with rare and precious pearls. For I am rich! But What good do riches do me? Absolutely nothing! Oh, days go by, weeks turn into months, and months turn into seasons. Bruno and I become accustomed to our new island home. We gradually lose our fear of the unknown, and we learn to recognize the island sounds. Owls. Monkeys. Oh, wombats. The sky fills with stars. Look, Bruno, it's Cassiopeia. I recite whole passages from Shakespeare. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Oh, for my amusement, I practice my gymnastic skills. Goodness, but when I am not honing my acrobatics, I play with my new best friends, the sea turtles. I ride them as if they're little ponies. I sit atop their gnarly shells, and I've devised a method of steering which consists of a gentle poke in the eye. If I wish for my turtle to turn right, I poke it in the left eye. And if I wish for it to go left, I poke it to right. It is so much fun. But still, not a day goes by that I don't climb up to the highest hilltop and look around 360 degrees for a boat out in the distance. Finally, one day, Bruno, something's out there. A boat, a catamaran, and it's floating toward our shore. Here, over here. Oh, I run down the hill to the beach and jump into the water. Inside lay 3 aborigines, a man, a young woman, and a child, weak from exposure to the elements, alive but barely conscious. Oh, I lift them to safety one by one. Here, dear audience, my saga takes an unexpected turn. For I am not rescued. Instead, I'm handed a different role, that of rescuer. Deprived of human companionship for 2.5 years, I am alone no more. Chapter 6, in which my isolation ends. The young woman is the first to revive. I greet her with a reassuring smile. Hello? Oh, I frighten her? Young lady, fear not. I mean you no harm. In fact, I'm fairly certain I saved your life. To which she replies, Oh, good people, please do not be afraid. I'm a man of peace. Think, Louis. Use your wits. I've got it. Good boy. Good boy. Thank you. My name is Louis. What's your name?
Yamba.
Yamba? Louis.
Louis.
Yes. The old man, she somehow conveys as her father.
Gunda.
Gunda. And the young child and baby sibling.
Bobo.
Oh, excellent, Bobo. Well done. Yamba tells us her story.
Tanako, Bore.
Well, for those of you who don't speak Yamba's language, allow me to translate. Our home is far away, many suns and moons away, where we live with our people. We set out in our boat to catch sea turtles, until a terrible storm came, and the winds blew us far, far from home, until you, meaning I, like a god of the ocean, in her words, came to our rescue and brought us to your home. Oh, no. This is not my home. My home, too, is far, far away.
Ah,
Yes. We learn to communicate. Word by word, we learn each other's languages. Sand.
San. Yono.
Yona. Sky.
Sky. Lalo.
Lava.
Tweet.
Tweet. Bird.
Bird.
Bird, yes. Weeks go by in this pleasant fashion, until one night, Yamba points up to the sky and asks,
Do you see that star?
her English is perfect by now.
That bright star on the horizon.
Yes, I see it.
There, beneath that star, is my home.
Oh, you miss it, don't you?
Oh, yes, very much.
Well, it can't be too far. A few days sailing at most.
Only we had a strong enough boat.
Well, we'll build one.
Really?
Between your catamaran and what we can salvage from the Wonder World, I'm sure we can make something seaworthy.
And you'll come too?
Oh, of course I'll come with you. Oh, and Bruno too.
Thank you, Louis. I must go tell Papa and Bobo. Papa, Bobo.
Yamba's kiss reminds me of how starved for affection I've been. Oh, I realize I have feelings for Yamba. My heartbeat quickens, my palms sweat, my head feels as if it floats. The feeling is a bit like seasickness. Oh, but without the vomiting. I take note. Chapter 7, in which we set out for the land of Aborigines and points unknown. Our tight and tidy ship is cobbled together. Off we go! And just like that, we set sail. We are blessed with smooth sailing, and on the 10th day we cruise through a chain of uninhabited islands.
We know this place. We're almost there.
Soon the shoreline is spotted in figures dot the landscape. Men, women, and children armed with spears and grave expressions.
Say nothing. Let Kuta speak to them.
Talu anu akto tuti dunda. Atuta toti parnubuka.
He tells them of how I came to their rescue, like a god of the ocean, in his words, and how I brought them into my home and fed them for many months and built the boat that made it possible for them to come back. But the people are unmoved. They inspect me from head to toe. Why not? I await their verdict. I become convinced they're discussing which wine goes best with de Rougemont. Oh, think, Louis, how best to win their trust. Oh, I've got it! Ta-da! Oh, I am welcomed into their tribe and treated like royalty. No, even greater than a king, like a divinity. They seat me in a throne-like chair, and I'm invited to choose a bride. But there's no question whom I wish my bride to be. Yamba, will you marry me?
Yes!
Yamba and I are united in a tribal ceremony of the highest order. And thus begins my new life among the Aborigines. Chapter 8, in which time passes and things change. Yamba and I make a happy life for ourselves in our little grass hut. We have a daughter together, which we call Blanche, and another called Gladys. Bruno is very protective toward the girls. All is serene and predictable, until one day, out of the blue. This is the sad part. The saddest part of my story you will hear. My beloved Bruno, yes, my devoted canine friend, at this point, very old and very tired, goes. Goodbye, Bruno. With Bruno gone, something inside me changes. My heart is no longer here.
You're thinking of home, aren't you?
Yes.
Why don't you go there?
What about the girls?
They don't need us the way they did when they were small.
Yamba appreciates her life here just as it is. But I long for England more than ever before. Yamba.
I know.
And so, I say goodbye to my adopted people, to dear Blanche and sweet Gladys, and the most precious one of all, my Yamba. Chapter 9, in which I set out due west, on foot, for points unknown. I trek miles and miles a day under the scorching sun, with rough, calloused feet through tall grasses and deserts, with a single thought reverberating in my head of home, home, home. I see no one. Then, a few steps further, the first sign of civilization, and what is it? Litter, trash, left in man's careless wake. Food, there must be food nearby. Oh, scones! Good heavens!
Look, mates! A savage!
Oh, perhaps I should explain at this juncture how it is that I, Louis de Rougemont, am mistaken as a savage. Imagine, if you will, my appearance: barefoot, filthy, skin sun-baked, eyes wild with hunger, hair knotted and unruly. It is no wonder that the Australian prospectors, my would-be saviors, see me and all they can think is savage!
Shoot the savage.
Oh, no, I'm an Englishman, please don't shoot.
The savage speaks English! Who are you, mate? What are you doing in that getup?
My name is Louis de Rougemont. I was shipwrecked in the Coral Sea where I lived my wits low these many years.
How many?
That I cannot say. What year is it currently?
What year? Why, it's 1898.
1898. It's 1898. I set sail in 1869. I've been lost almost 30 years. What have I been doing with myself?
He's mad.
My God,
Come on, mate.
my whole life gone right now. Oh, no. Please don't leave me, sir. You must take me with you, I beg.
All right, we'll get you as far as Brisbane. You can have a freighter back to England from there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We arrive in the port city of Brisbane, Australia. I spend the night in a local inn and soak in an actual tub. The following morning, I work my passage on a steamship. At long last, bound for home. Chapter 10, Journey's End. As the light of day begins to burn through the thick morning mist. Presto! Like a magician's handkerchief, lifted to reveal a prize. It's England! I am home! I make my way to my mother's house as if I had last been there yesterday, not 10,000 yesterdays ago. Mother, it is I, Louis.
I had a son named Louis. He left to see the world, but never came home.
I am he. I return.
Where on earth have you been?
I tell her everything, my whole amazing story.
What an extraordinary tale. You must tell your story to the world.
Oh, but how?
I know. Look at this.
Wide World magazine. Truth is stranger than fiction. All right, Mother. Of words and images. My fateful encounter with Captain Jensen.
Oh, how marvelous.
Bruno and the Pearl Dives.
Absolutely astounding.
The terrible storm and devastating shipwreck.
Good Lord, it's a miracle he survived.
My years on the island.
Oh, how wonderful.
Rescuing Yamba and living among the Aborigines and becoming a chief and...
Well, this is amazing stuff. Breathtaking, fantastic.
So you like it then?
Like it. I love it. It has a bit of everything. Adventure, romance, suspense. I'm going to publish it in 10 weekly installments starting next week.
Oh, sir, thank you so
And
much.
now what it needs to smart child. One that grabs the public by its throat and doesn't let go. That's the
I've got it.
No, I got it. Shipwrecked. The amazing adventures of Louis de Rougemont, as told by himself.
It's perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Wide world, get your wide world. Truth is indeed stranger than fiction. Shipwrecked, amazing true life adventures of a castaway. Lived among cannibals. Survived 30 years in the Australian outback. Read all about it. Wide world, mister.
Yeah, give me one of those.
Here you go, sir. Oh, here you go.
I'll take two. One for my nephew.
Here you go. Here's another one for your nephew.
Another one.
Oh, the series proves to be so popular. The second week's printing is increased from 10,000 copies to 20,000. By the third week, 50,000. Week number 4, 200,000. My worldwide fame is at its peak. I am summoned before Her Majesty, Queen Victoria. Your Majesty.
For extraordinary valor in the face of seemingly insurmountable hardship and the constant threat of death at the hands of savages, we bestow upon you the honor of Member of the Order of the British Empire.
The Queen is so enthralled by my tale, she invites me to address the Royal Geographic Society. It is the proudest moment of my entire life. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where my fantastic story ends. Thank you very much. I do have time for a few questions.
Sir.
Yes?
Sir Sheldon Hardwick of the Liverpudlian Herpetologic College. You describe how you were able to steer sea turtles to go left or right by poking them gently in the appropriate eye. Is that
Yes,
right?
quite remarkable.
I'm sure. Forgive my impudence, sir, but I have personally caught and handled thousands of sea turtles in my day. And not once did I ever witness a turtle tolerate being touched anywhere on its body, let alone being poked in its eyes. In fact, if a man were to sit on a turtle, it would sink straight down like a stone. Your assertion is so preposterous, indeed unbelievable.
Ridiculous! Dr. Anacolia Sebastian, East Anglia Oceanographic Institute, the world's foremost expert on the octopus. You say a shipmate of yours fell victim to a giant octopus.
Yes, quite terrific.
I must say, the octopus you describe, Mr. de Rougemont, possesses the anatomy and appearance of a creature that is certainly a revelation to me. In fact, in my 25 years of nautical experience, never have I seen such an octopus.
Absolutely. Well, I see it's possible that I am the first man ever to lay eyes on such a creature. No, you must understand, I'm a man of my word.
Charlatans!
Oh, come on now, let me explain. Goodness. Reporters are dispatched to uncover whatever libelous piece of filth they can get their dirty hands on.
Truth is indeed stranger than fiction. Never has the adage been more fitting than in the curious case of Louis de Rougemont.
Curious indeed.
Indeed, he has in fact led a colorful life, but not the life described so vividly in the pages of Wide World magazine.
What?
He was a sickly child of age, and his father was largely absent because he was a drunkard who died in debtor's prison.
Now that is not entirely true.
He did not leave home at 17, rather his mentally imbalanced mother threw him out.
That is an affront. My mother was a saint.
He may have embarked on a pearling expedition.
Huh?
He may even have been shipwrecked.
See, I knew I'd be vindicated.
But he could not have gone missing more than 3 years.
3 years?
We are able to document the rescue of a lone, half-crazed castaway by an Australian trawler.
The castaway was brought to Sydney, where he later married.
That's him, all right. He ran out on me, that no-good rotten. The man who calls himself de Rougemont deserted his wife in Sydney and later returned to London.
Where he spent countless hours in the British Library concocting his fantastic story.
Yes, that's him. That's the man. He requested every last book we had on the Australian outback.
The man, known as de Rougemont, took the 3 years he was unaccounted for and simply added a 0 to the truth.
Truth. What is truth?
Chronicle, get your daily chronicle. De Rougemont exposed his fraud. Paper, mister.
No thank you, sir.
Chronicle, get your daily chronicle. De Rougemont exposed his
My life
fraud.
takes an ugly turn. I'm mocked, ridiculed, and reviled.
Time goes by.
Huh?
Time goes by. The firestorm. See?
Thank you.
Mr. de Rougemont, are you all right? Can you go on?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. You're most kind. Time goes by. The firestorm dies down. Louis de Rougemont is a forgotten man. I have but one amazing adventure yet to come. The adventure that comes to all living things. I am prepared to take my leave and dwell for eternity among the ignominious. But before I bid you farewell, I wish to make here and now one last attempt to restore my good name. Kind ladies and gentlemen, the piece de resistance of this evening's entertainment. Behold, a tank of water. This decrepit laughingstock will now mount and ride a sea turtle. Oh, impossible, you say. Anyone who claims that they can ride a sea turtle for their amusement must be a liar or charlatan or a fool. We shall see about that. Observe, ever so gently I hoist myself upon its gnarly shell as if it were a well-worn saddle. Oh, my legs seated around on each side, and observe, ladies and gentlemen, I am seated upon the sea turtle. Does it sink like a stone? No, most decidedly not. It contentedly floats along the surface of the water with me upon him. Ha! And if I wish for my turtle to go right, I poke it in the left hand. And if I wish for it to go to the left, I poke it in the right. Ah, how wonderful! Seeing is believing, is it not? Look at me, world. Look at me. Look at Louis now. Good night, dear ones. Great and small, sweet dreams.